new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.
Well, the Delhi Capitals humbled by the Knight Riders after what we thought was an important turning point for the start of their season when they won against CSK at Visakhapatnam. Today, it's just gone pear-shaped. It's the kind of crushing defeat that, well, it might take some time to recover from. On the other hand, the Knight Riders, what a story it's been that they now find themselves, still early days in the tournament, but at the top of the IPL points table. They joined the Rajasthan Royals as the only two teams to win 3 out of 3. So we look back at how that game was pretty much decided in the first 20 overs on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout. Tom Moody, Mitch McClenaghan, Varun Aaron. I think it's just fair to say outbatted in one innings and just there was no contest after that, especially in the power play, Varun, where most of the threat of Delhi just went away.
I feel outplayed completely. I mean, quite a sad day for the Delhi Capitals.
Yes.
Great move by KKR to bring in Vaibhav Arora. I think what they needed to infuse in their bowling attack was some swing, which was lacking. Mitch Starc obviously is a really good bowler and he swings the ball, but he was not able to over the past 3 games. And Harshit Rana again is somebody who hits the deck. They didn't really have a genuine swing bowler. Vaibhav Arora brought them that option and he reaped the rewards today.
Yeah.
So yeah, really happy for him. Really happy for the KKR bowling unit, and I think this is good signs because they're like coming together now.
It always helps when you have 272 on the board. We have to start getting used to saying that now. This IPL 270 plus on the board. But as we look at bowling plans, we were quite critical of Delhi in the first innings. KKR seemed organised.
I think it's easy to look organised when you've got that score on the board, as they say, runs on the board, as quite a powerful one, particularly when they're as many as what they ended up with. I think the early wickets, 4 wickets, fell in the power play. You're absolutely destroyed. Whether you're chasing 160 or you're chasing 272, it makes it very, very hard when you're losing that quantity of wickets. And it's not like the wickets fell through the Delhi Capital top order really going incredibly hard at it. They were just sort of nondescript dismissals. You look at Marsh, picked out cover point, Prithvi Shaw, mishit one, it just lobbed to mid-on. There was nothing, that...
Warner played on.
Yeah, Warner then played on.
Yeah.
Yes, so it just, they just fell over today in both departments.
I guess what they did do as a bowling unit, they bowled more deliveries that were going to hit the stumps. In terms of length. They bowled a lot fuller than Delhi did, and that reaped the rewards. You saw those mishits that you saw Prithvi, that was off a full ball. David Warner struggled to get off the mark with Stark's full of deliveries, and that's where the pressure just piled up.
Yeah, there's very little to write home about if you're a Delhi Capitals fan from today, but there could be something really significant in what we've seen. It may have been once the game was already going further and further away, but 55 of 25 to Rishabh Pant to follow up what was a pretty impressive 50 against CSK, where he did struggle his way for the first part of the innings, run a ball 20-odd. Today, the first ball went for 6. And there are many things that can be said about this kind of game, but when you saw Rishabh Pant batting like that, I'm sure a few things just felt good.
I think Rishabh Pant's back because he's played some vintage Rishabh Pant shots. I know that ball by Venki Iyer wasn't the best ball down his legs, but the way he dispatched it, like to hit a 6 from there behind is really, really not easy. Even now he's looking dangerous even over the covers. So then when Rishabh starts hitting you over the covers, as a bowler you think, okay, where do I go now? Because generally the plan is to go wide to him. So he's hitting like his whole range at the moment, which is great news for DC. But yeah, he will need support from everybody else. He can't do it alone.
He got a little bit of support today in terms of Tristan Stubbs as well. And
yes.
He missed out on the first game, got 44 not out in the second game, missed out again the next game. But as soon as he got past the first 3 or 4 balls, he looked class again. He's a base price pickup for Delhi. Got him at a very cheap price, and obviously Ricky and the team have seen something in him, and he's rewarding them. So they can get that top order to fire. Obviously, if they're not chasing 271, that'll be a good start. But he looks the goods, and that's what you need. You need a finisher behind someone like a Rishabh Pant. So he has the freedom to go out there and play the way he plays.
Prem Kumar is saying today's Delhi Capitals loss is on you guys. That's us.
Why?
You gave the bowling plan only to Andre Russell, but not to Narayan. All right.
We did actually say that you need to swing the ball.
Yes.
You know, get it up and swing it and beat him with swing.
All right. Jagmohan Bish says, based on the records, it looks like Bangalore and Delhi will be fighting for bottom place in just 4 games. They've made it clear. Are there as many holes in the Delhi Capitals team? They only just beat CSK in their last game. But what's concerning for you from this Delhi Capitals side after this performance?
Well, there's 2 key bowlers missing, Mukesh and Kuldeep. You add them to this side, it's a far better looking, rounded team. There still are concerns around, I think, form of certain players, and when you have, injuries in your camp, that is a concern because what you're showing is you don't have the depth in your squad, and you look at other squads, they also have injuries, and a few players coming in and out of form, but it's more of a seamless change when there's adjustment to the playing 11. It's not like, we're suddenly far worse off today than what we were the previous game because we've lost 2 players. They seem to have the depth and quality of the squad.
Yeah, they're in a position where the way their backup bowlers went tonight, that they'd have to consider playing Jai Richardson as well, which means that you've got to make a very difficult decision in terms of Mitch Marsh being dropped or David Warner or Tristan Stubbs. And none of those 3
The
players...
most disposable out of those is Stubbs, and he's in form.
But they don't have the Indian batting.
That's the thing, right?
So they
concern.
can't. Ricky Boyer would be
Has
the
not
next
worked,
one in, and that experiment failed. Even though it was only 2 games.
Unless they bring Yash Dole in, and he doesn't seem to be... He hasn't had a great domestic season.
That's the depth problem.
Isn't it?
They've got both on the international side and also domestic side.
The thing is that the players who they're putting their main money on have to fire. Then the question of depth will not even arise. Like Mitch Marsh has to get runs because he's in a position where he really has to contribute with bat and ball actually. Because at the end of the day, if you're an international signee and your team has paid the big bucks for you, you have to deliver with the bat and ball if you're an all-rounder.
They could be in a position where the way Mukesh Khan bowled the other night...
Mukesh Kumar.
The way he bowled the other night and then Kuldeep Yadav coming back, the form that Nokia's in, they may be able to look at bolstering their batting by bringing Fraser Murgurk in, so I can get my big call for 50. But no, just a thought. They were good the other night.
It's tough when you're considering drastic changes, but when your big overseas don't fire, and especially if you don't win early parts of the season.
At the end of the day, your overseas players, you look at a season and your top overseas players, you're hoping that they're going to individually win 3 games for you, minimum 3 games. And it doesn't look like, that's getting close to happening for Delhi at the moment. And who knows, the next 5 games, they might have those players all at different occasions firing and they win the next 5 in a row. And we're sitting here having a different conversation.
If I flip the exact same thing around for today's opposition, Narayan is firing. That's effectively 2 player of the match awards. Russell's 1, right? 3 wins with 3 foreign players winning. Phil Salt is in the kind of form that he is. And Mitch Stark, if Mitch Stark is the one you're waiting on form for, you're pretty much okay.
100%.
So
but they've got the bowling to cover that.
They still have at least the Indian contingent. And we've seen a really bright young star today in Raghuvanshi.
100%.
So this is a team. Does this team cover all bases? Is this a real threat now? Because KKR were disappointing last year. Lots has changed. Or have they actually played 2 teams that we've been most critical of? Because they played Delhi and Bangalore.
The thing with KKR is their Indian contingent, especially their batsmen, and Harshit Rana has bowled really well in the first 2-3 games. They are capable of winning you games. So now, except Rishabh Pant, nobody is really looking like they can just run away with the game. At the moment, I'm not saying that there aren't any match winners, but they have to hit form. But with KKR, there are a ton of match winners there from the Indian contingent.
Well, they're going to be tested as well because Harshit Rana went off with a shoulder injury. And he's been superb for them in the first 3 games. So he's been a key component to their bowling unit. So fingers crossed for KKR fans that everything's okay on that front.
Delhi are done from Visakhapatnam. They now head on the road for 3 games before they then return to the Arun Jaitley Stadium where they'll play the remainder of their 5 home games. Their next contest is against the Mumbai Indians. So 9 plays 10 on Sunday in an afternoon game at the Wankhede Stadium. So
Something's going to give there.
as storylines move,
Someone's going to win.
Delhi are still 9th because they've got some points on the board. We know the Mumbai Indians story is done to death, but that's your next fixture. As far as KKR go, they now head to the Chepauk. Now that's a proper test. Let's see how they respond there after this seriously good run they've started on with. But yeah, just very quickly, let me just take a yes or no question on whether Pant is now a shoo-in for the World Cup. Because I think if you're an Indian selector, you're waiting to see 3 games. I've seen enough. It can't possibly go pear-shaped.
I think it's hard to give a yes or no. I think yes, he's back, as in he is batting and keeping like he was, prior that accident. But we're yet to see what time delivers, his fitness and endurance, and let's just hope that is the only thing that's the missing piece. And if he gets that right, if he gets through this IPL, in my view, he's an absolute shoo-in.
Yeah. One major concern for me is his inability to hear the edges off the bat. You've got to be able to tee it up properly, mate. You've got to be able to get those edges. So
Especially when I'm...
That's my only concern. That's it. Being able to get a good DRS in.
I agree. Rishabh Pant is an automatic choice. We must understand that everybody who's playing now has replaced Rishabh Pant. And he was not dropped. He had a really bad accident. So if he's fit, like Tom says, it's a no-brainer. Rishabh Pant will be in.
All right. And on that note, it is time for a very quick review of this game. So rapid-fire review, gentlemen. You know the drill by now. 20 seconds. And you could take all 20 of them. I wish you do. So let's start with you, Tom Moody. Hyderabad's 277 or KKR's 272, the more impactful innings for you?
I think the Hyderabad won purely because it's the first time we've seen a score reach those heights, and it seems to have been branded in my memory more so than what today. Today was, a messy, shambolic was the word I used on Delhi Capital's front.
All right. On that note, Mitch McClenaghan, where did Delhi err when it came to bowling to Sunil Narayan in the first innings? 20 seconds.
Well, they didn't use the swing up front, as my 2 fine gentlemen beside me have pointed out. But when they did go short, they went short over the stumps. And the way Narayan plays the short ball, he steps away a lot. And you've got to stop him from having his hands. You've got to follow him. And they didn't do that tonight.
All right. Varun Aaron, 20 seconds. You'll enjoy this. Please rate Ankrish Raghuvanshi's first IPL knock. 20 seconds.
Oh, beautiful, fearless. It was just what any coach would want to see if you're backing a youngster. Just go out there, play some cricket, which not just impresses the team, but just impresses like everybody who's watching it. It's 18-year-old guy, just the reverse lap above over third man was just unbelievable.
All right, back to you, Tom. You ready? Have you dozed off?
All right. No, I'm always ready. I was just surprised as the comeback. Let's go.
I'm going in a nice order.
Let's go,
right.
Please.
What worked for Mitchell Starc today? 20 seconds.
I think 272 on the board was an important thing, not just for Mitchell Starc, for any bowler for that matter. Having that cushion and that pressure taken away, it allowed him just to do what Mitchell Starc does and run in and bowl quickly, and still didn't get the ball to shape as much as he would like, but he got early wickets, which was key for his confidence going forward.
All right, just before I throw this question, I'm just going to mention here that they did not name a replacement player for Harry Brook, did the Delhi Capitals. So there is still the option of bringing in another overseas. So Mitch, should Delhi look for another overseas fast bowler after today, where they have that option open with Harry Brook?
Mitch is coming out of retirement.
I thought they did. Okay. Look, I mean, they need to look around. And they're going to have to look very deep in terms of what's out there. If Kuldeep's injury is somewhat of concern, there's some good wrist spinners around, the likes of Waqar Salam and the likes from Afghanistan, so that might be the option.
All right, we just point out, I mean, they have Jai Richardson, but they also have lost Lungi Ngiri and Harry Brook, right? So Jake Fraser-McGurk came in, but there's still an overseas slot that they can shop for, looking at the situation. Right, finally, Varun Aaron, 20 seconds. Has Rishabh Pant sealed his T20 World Cup spot?
I would say if he's in the same form and he's fit, yes. And I don't even think form's much of a concern with the way he's played today. So he's an automatic choice if he's fit at the end of the IPL.
All right, that is a quick fire review. I'm just going to take one really good question that's come in over here on our YouTube Live. Can you please ask Tom if he's going to coach an IPL team again if he gets an offer? This is from Abhishek Kumar. Thanks for that, Abhishek. Tom.
I'll wait for the offer before I make that decision. But yeah, look, in a nutshell, I'm a passionate coach. I love every aspect of the game, whether it be talking the game in this company or coaching or in another role in director of cricket. So I'm lucky to have a few balls in the air.
Good man. See? That's the way you
I thought it was going to be yes. I want to get away from Mitch and Varun.
Not Varun.
Tongue in cheek.
That's all right, Kermit.
Okay, time for the impact zone.
Yes, let's go.
Tom, should we just leave the building?
I don't think we've got time.
Okay, let's do that again. Put the camera on Mitch. Put the camera on Mitch. He's going to do this now. Do it, Mitch.
All right, it's that time of the night. It is time for the impact zone. Bring it up, bring it up. Okay, the impact zone tonight, wow. It's a foregone conclusion. We saw as soon as I picked Andre Russell, Sunil Narine and Rinku Singh, that it was only going to end in one way. Pretty poor picks from you there, Varun.
You know, to be honest with you, I think I've had the win here just by beating you by 1 point.
That was actually, I mean,
that was a shocker.
I could have had a terrible night out. I mean, I beat you just with Andre Russell, which is pretty disappointing from your guys. But you guys will be back. You're strong, built a strong character. Tom's going to have a day off, do some scouting. And Varun, we'll see you when we see you.
Absolutely.
You'll see Varun tomorrow.
One more day left, yeah.
Oh, you're here tomorrow.
Just leave the anchoring, will you?
His day off.
Done your bit.
His day off doesn't mean you two don't see each other. Do the math.
Oh, dear.
Brilliant. But I enjoyed that. Actually, with how well you've done that, I might actually consider a day off myself.
Yeah, I think, well, I thought you had one today.
All right.
All right.
Well,
on that note, thank you very much. Tom, Moody, Mitchell McClenaghan and Varun Aaron. Tom will take a well-deserved break for tomorrow, but he'll be back the day after. Look forward to your company anyway for build-up with Varun Aaron and Mitch McClenaghan tomorrow for Gujarat against Punjab. Join us then for Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout. Download the mobile app if you haven't already. I'm sure there'll be plenty written as well about young Ankush Raghuvanshi, who we can't wait to see more of, and it's another powering win courtesy of the likes of Narayan and Russell for KKR, who march on now to the checkbox. See you tomorrow.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.